who is on at this time of the day. So I was Googling about maybe, I want to say a week ago, to see what kind of K-pop they had on vinyl. I found out that they have Golden. They have Golden by K-pop Demon Hunters on a 7-inch. I will be getting that. My niece loves that song, and I've always wanted to have that song for myself on vinyl, so that's going to be something I'm going to get. Hey, Fox Guy. Yes, it is 9 p.m. Well, no, it's 9 p.m. where you are, and it's 7 here. Let me, actually, let me try to angle this so that I could be in the camera. I managed to fix this so that it would show better. Hold on. I accidentally clicked out. Yeah, 2 hours difference now. So today my cousin had a party, and it was like 2 hours. The party was 2 hours, so I went. Had some Raising Canes, which the Raising Canes wasn't too bad. It was okay. And then we had some sliders at the party. They had some sandwiches from this place called Mendocino Farms, and lots of little like sodas, lots of apple juice, some boba and tea. I was asking my cousin if they had water. I should have brought my own water. I didn't think about it because usually at a party there is water there. But overall, it was a cute party. It was a cute party. My cousin's son had just turned 1, Jaden, and they had a Mario themed party. And thinking back to when I was a kid, Mario was my thing. Mario was my thing when I was 5, because I got my very first Nintendo system in 1987. My parents had bought it for me for Christmas, the very first Nintendo that came out. And I used to always play the Mario and Duck Hunt game. I had the gun that came with it, and so I would play that. And that was fun. That was fun until my mom. Why do you keep repeating my name over and over again? I see you. Shoot, let me change this to subscriber. I see you, dude. You don't need to spam my chat. You don't need to spam my chat. We know you're here. Hi, Cillian Murphy. Fake Cillian Murphy. Is it Cillian? Yeah, fake Cillian Murphy. I don't need money from you. Yeah. That's kind of a weird request to ask me to wave and then you'll give me money. No thanks. Look, I don't need money, dude. You're coming in here asking me. You're coming here and asking me to wave so you can give me money? That's just a really, really odd request. So, like, just stop, okay? I'm not a bot, if that's what you're saying. I'm talking here with everybody. No. Anyways, guys. How's everybody and how you doing? My God. My God, you are too much. You guys are too much. I already told you. I already said your name. Oh my gosh. You guys can come back later. That was such a weird request. Like, if I don't feel like I want to do something, I'm not going to do something just because you come into a chat and say I have to do it. No. He's gone. But now, he's gone. He's gone for like a minute. They can come back. They haven't ascended anything offensive towards me. But if they come in here and they start being offensive, then they will be banned. But it's just like spamming. I'll just like, time out people for spamming. But once you say something offensive, then yeah, you get banned. So I was looking at the 5 Seconds of Summer vinyl. They want close to $50 for a vinyl with a signed insert. And then the CD. The CD is $30. Including the if you include the shipping and the service charge. I want to support 5 Seconds of Summer, so I think I'm gonna go with the CD. I'm sorry, but $50 for a vinyl for a single LP, not worth it. Not worth it in my slightest opinion. Not in my slightest interest would I pay $50 for 5 Seconds of Summer. Anyways, so how have you guys been? I had to make like kind of a makeshift kind of card for my cousin's thing today because I totally did not get a card for her son's birthday party. So I just went and I got some paper and I wrote a letter to her. I wrote a letter to her and I put it in with the card and I gave her some money so that she can get her kid something. I have like tons and tons of Squishmallows that my sister got from her workplace. So I gave one to him because there are some Squishmallows my sister gave me that I have no desire to keep. And then there are Squishmallows my sister gave me that I really love. Like the mushroom one, I'm not giving away. Apology accepted. Apology accepted. We can move on from that now. It's just I don't mind people coming in here, but when you guys just keep coming in here and you're just being like, annoying and stuff, I kind of like I don't have time to deal with that. Just want to have a nice chat. Can we see what? See what? The guy kept coming in here and saying my name, and I was like, I see your name, I see your message. The Squishmallow is with my cut. The Squishmallow is somewhere around here. I have to go and find it. The Squishmallow is somewhere around this house. It's like a mushroom Squishmallow. My sister works for Squishmallow, so I get like tons and tons of Squishmallows from her. She gave me a whale one that I cap. I have a koala one that I cap. The mushroom one is somewhere around here. And then I have a My Melody one that I really like. Because I love My Melody. She's one of my top 3 Sanrio characters. So I like her. I like My Melody. I like Pochaco. And I like Little Twin Star. Yeah. Squishmallow is this kind of like plushie that you can squish. Hence the reason why it's called Squishmallow. My sister, has been working there for a bit. So every once in a while, she'll give me Squishmallows. And, I have, like, accumulated a lot of them. So I had this one that I got, a Dragonite one, that was just sitting in my room that I wasn't using. And it was just collecting dust. So I was like, why not give it to her son? My cousin's son, if I'm not really using it. You have one from Disneyland? I've never actually bought a Squishmallow from Disneyland, but I would love to own, like, Mickey Mouse or Minnie, Donald or Daisy. I have two. A dinosaur and a crab. Ooh, a crab one. That'd be super cool to have. Um, I like um, I like squishmallows. They're cute. I don't exactly have the space to have a ton of squishmallows on my bed, so for me, I just have a little small collection of squishmallows. The mushroom one I keep because it was the very first squishmallow my sister gave me. It's a very special squishmallow because it's the first one I ever got. So that's the one I keep. I never bought a squishmallow in the store because my sister works for them, so I get them for free, which is pretty cool. I don't have to. I store them on my bed. I store squishmallows on my bed. I think that's where some people store squishmallows. Some people probably store them in like one of those net things. I saw one of those net things that people have on the wall, or they store them on a shelf. But I don't want to get too like into squishmallows because they can get quite pricey. They do take up a lot of space. So for right now, it's like I have about maybe three or four squishmallows. I have three or four squishmallows that I like that my sister gave me, so I keep those. I have a whale, I have a mushroom, I have my melody, I have a koala. I don't want what that goes to 1,000, but don't know. Yeah, some of them can go for really pricey on the aftermarket. You know what's crazy? Um, I saw a video recently on TikTok of people going crazy over the Starbucks teddy bear cup. Now, I'm not a person that's ever lined up for anything Starbucks related. I've always been a person that when I go to Starbucks, I usually just go for the tea, hot chocolate with almond milk, or I would, get the vanilla bean frappuccino, the one without the coffee in it. But I see people lining up for these cups, and these cups just say Starbucks on them, or they have some kind of like cute color to them. This week they had this like teddy bear one that said Starbucks on the lid, and it was a teddy bear, and it was like $32. To see grown ass people lining up for a Starbucks teddy bear cup and men fighting with other men over this cup is crazy. It's just a cup. It's just a cup that's probably going to sit on your shelf. You're not going to use a lot of. Like, I have my main cup that I always use, which is my hydro flask that I got about maybe a year ago in 2024. I have this hydro flask. It's got dings in it, but I use that hydro flask a lot. That is my main cup that I use. So I don't really go out of my way to collect a lot of cups, but I get that the whole Starbucks boom and everybody wanting to, cash in on Starbucks, they collect those cups. But it was just a tiny cup. I've even seen the regular Starbucks cups, and I'm not big on the whole Starbucks cup collecting thing. You just went and got hot chocolate. Great minds think alike. I need to go get some hot chocolate because they have released the Christmas cups. The cups that are decorated with the Christmas stuff. They have released it for Starbucks, so I definitely want to go get some hot chocolate with almond milk, or I get hot chocolate with 2% milk. Like, that's the two ways I get my hot chocolate. The 2% milk is great, and maybe I'll get a little whipped cream in it and a little bit of cinnamon on top. That'd be really good. That sounds good now. You're getting me wanting that because that sounds really good. Although I usually get it without the whipped cream and just the hot chocolate itself, I get like a grande hot chocolate. One Christmas, someone gave me a nice ceramic teapot. They're from Vietnam originally. Very nice gift. I don't have any ceramic teapots in my house. When we make tea, which is I don't really make tea. I just go and I get my tea. I get my tea from Trader Joe's. It's already made. It's in a jug. I like that tea, and that's the tea I get. I never tried to make tea. My mom makes it better. I mean, I'm just saying that hot chocolate sounds good right now. You got me thinking that I need to get to Starbucks because I have like actually I have 3 Starbucks really near me within walking distance. I have it at a Target, I have it at a Albertson, and then I have a Starbucks on its own. And then if you drive down or you take a bus, I have 2 more Starbucks or 3 or 4 more Starbucks in my city. So we have like 7 Starbucks in my city, which is crazy. It's crazy how many Starbucks a city gets. And my city has 7. And my city's not even that big of a city, but we have 7. Green tea also sounds good. I was low-key hoping my cousin's party would have just regular green tea. But she had like some specialty kind of sweet green tea. Yeah, well, Fox Guy, it's not it's about where I live, it's about $4. It's about $4 for a grande hot chocolate. I don't know. I don't follow the 6-7 trend. I know what you're talking about. I don't follow it. I was there, but I didn't get one. But that's fine. I know they closed 150 stores. I watch the news. I see what's happening in the news, but Starbucks is not a thing I go to all the time, Fox Guy. It's a once in a while thing. I go to Starbucks. I'm not a coffee drinker, so Starbucks, if I go to Starbucks, I get my tea, or I get my hot chocolate, or I get my vanilla bean frappuccino, or I get lemonade, or water. I don't go to Starbucks all that often. I know there's people that go to Starbucks weekly. There are like boba places that I like better, that have better tea. Like there is this one boba place that I really like called Half and Half. And Half and Half has my absolute favorite green tea. It's a boba place that's in the next city over for me. Love it. Really good. It's like when we got really good boba places, why would I go and get tea from Starbucks when I got all these Asian boba places that clearly make better tea than Starbucks? Starbucks is for people who don't want to branch out and try Asian tea. It's for people who are just, stuck in their ways and don't want to go and find a real legit, like, one of a kind coffee shop or make their own coffee. I get it. Hey, William, welcome. Fox Guy is one of my subscribers here on YouTube. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. I got a lot of cool people that subscribe to my channel. I try to do a stream every week. I do it between 2 and 3. They're about 60 minutes to 30 minutes, depending on how I feel. I think this stream is going to be a 60-minute stream. I'm feeling good about it. I've never had matcha green tea. I'm not too much of a fan of the powdery stuff, but love green tea. Green tea and jasmine are my favorite. And black tea. Haagen-Dazs, I like Haagen-Dazs. When it comes to Haagen-Dazs, sometimes I will get some Haagen-Dazs when I'm at the grocery store. But for the most part, when it comes to Haagen-Dazs, I like to get the ice cream bars. They have the ice cream bars at Costco. And I will get like the 18 pack at Costco. and that will last us a month. My dad also eats it. Like during the summer, the Haagen-Dazs ice cream is fantastic. But there's also the Costco brand, which I enjoy as well. And they give you a little bit more. Now that I think of it, no, the Haagen-Dazs one I think gives you 15. We do have a lot of good Asian markets in California. Um, I don't go to an Asian market all too often, to be really honest with you. But tomorrow we're gonna be having pho. We're gonna be having pho tomorrow, so I do I do like going to the Asian market every once in a while, and I like getting myself some food from the Asian market. You call me low key unknowing? Unknowing. I say some words a lot, and I don't realize that I say it. It's just like out of habit. Fox Guy is a good dude. Fox Guy's a good dude. You guys don't need to go attacking Fox Guy. Oh, okay, thank you. Good for clarifying. Fox Guy's a good dude. You guys don't need to be going and attacking people in my streams. If you don't like the people I have in my streams, you guys are free to leave and go to another stream. Nobody's telling you to stay here. Fox Guy's a good dude. I feel like I gotta defend people because you guys are assuming someone's a bad person. You've only been in this stream for like 22 minutes. You're not getting much of an impression of a person. You have to get to know them for a bit before you make an impression. Please, guys, don't fight in my chat. Don't fight in my chat. If you're a young kid under the age of 18, you really should not be in my chat. I'm sorry. I don't want too many young kids in my chat. It feels kind of weird to have young kids in my chat. Look, guys, don't fight. Don't fight, okay? Please. I'm here to like do streams. I'm here to read comments, but please don't fight with each other. It's not becoming of this chat. We like to have good chats. We like to talk with each other. So if you're gonna go and start fights with people in the chat, go to another chat. Not here. Yeah, please, guys. I don't want to ban people. I don't. I give you a chance to come in here and be a cool person, okay? I give you a warning, and then if you start disrupting again, I give you another warning, and then the third time I just ban you. I'm guessing you're a really young kid by the way you're writing. Please. I don't mind young kids watching my stream, but as far as them, interacting in the stream, proceed with caution because I have a lot of adults. I have a lot of adults that are in my stream. I am an adult, so I expect that most of the people who are, watching my stream are adults. Because I don't do kid content on my streams. Or I don't do kid content in my videos. I talk about records. I talk about CDs. I talk about K-pop. But I'm assuming K-pop could be very much geared towards younger kids. Good. Everybody is making up. Thank you, guys. That's all I wanted was you guys to be nice to each other, okay? Thank you for apologizing. Because I was like, I want to do the stream, but I don't want you guys fighting all with each other. Last year I said to myself, I want to have a much more peaceful year. And the same thing as 2023. I didn't want to have, so much fighting in my life. I think that's a good mantra. I should take that into 2026. Oh, your name is Dylan. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I thought your name was Cillian Murphy. I read it as Cillian Murphy. Sorry. I like read the chat and I thought your name was Cillian Murphy. I was thinking the actor. Good. Everybody's good. Thank you guys. Thank you for keeping it peaceful in the Groovy Union streams. Thanks for keeping it peaceful, guys. I had to go and time out some person because they kept bugging me to wave them. I was like, why? And then when I thought about it, I knew why they wanted me to wave. I was like, weird. Weird people. You guys are weird. Every store is already playing that Mariah Carey song. I have that album. I have that album on vinyl, the Mariah Carey album. I bought it probably about, I want to say 7 years ago, just because I wanted it. Look, I'm not the biggest Mariah Carey fan, but I do thoroughly enjoy that Christmas album. I haven't played that Christmas album in, it's been a minute. I played it when I first bought it from Target, but I have it. I have it in my collection just because I do like to have a little bit of Christmas in my collection just to have to play. And that's one of the albums that I do have. The holiday music, it's a little too early. No, Fox Guy is fine with you. I'm assuming you're a young kid. Please do not take anything too seriously in this chat. Fox Guy apologize to you. He wants you here. I don't want you to feel like you're not welcome in the chat. The people in my chat are nice people, but when you go, I have to say address this. When you go and you start attacking people in the chat that have been here way longer than you have, people are gonna feel kind of a certain way. So the best thing to do is just come in this chat, keep up with whatever I'm talking about, or say something else that's on your mind. But Fox Guy is a cool guy. If he wasn't a cool guy, I wouldn't have him here. I'm not gonna have people here that are not cool. You have to be cool to be here. You hoping, William? Let me tell you, William. When you do your own live streams, you're gonna get some people that are a little bit strange. You're gonna get some people that are maybe gonna say some not so nice things. So, at the end of the day, you gotta be prepared that when you do a stream, you're gonna get people that are gonna come in, and they're not gonna treat you as nice. I remember when I got my very, very first troll in a live stream. I was like, wow, this is my very, very first troll that I got. And to be really super honest with you, it happens in streams. You get people that come in streams to start trouble, or people who come and say negative things. It happens, but you know what? You just keep doing your streams. And if they get too out of hand, then that's when you address it. I finally managed to catch a live. Yeah, I decided to do the live a little bit later my time, which was like about 7, 8, and see if anybody from the UK could show up, or Australia, because it'd be early for them. So that's why I did it a little later. Usually I do it like 1 or 3 my time. Bye, Dylan. Don't take it to heart, Dylan. You're more than welcome to come back to the stream. I don't mind Christmas music in November. I may go to Remembrance Day on November 11th. We have our Veterans Day on November the 11th. Our Veterans Day for the United States is on November 11th. I don't celebrate it, but I acknowledge it. Okay, bye. Come back when you want to come back. No hard feelings. Yeah, I try to do them at different times. I think maybe this is gonna be the good time that I'll do it is 7. 7 will probably be a better time because usually I do it at like 1 or 3. But if 7's a good time for you guys over on the other side of the pond, my UK people and William over in Australia, then I'll do it at 7 because I don't exactly remember what the time differences is in Australia and the UK. I have like my a world alarm clocks that I set up in my phone for like South Korea. Uh that's it, I think, because I love K-pop. So of course I have my clock for South Korea. I think maybe the UK too, because I also love UK as well. It's almost 12 p.m. in Perth. Okay, so you guys are on the next day in Perth. Cool. 5:33. Oh, 8:33 Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, you're actually an hour ahead of me. Man, I was pissed to hear that all the MTV News Channel closing. You guys in the United States are safe. I think we're also kind of phasing out from music too in the United States as well, because MTV for a bit of time used to be a music focused channel, right? Nowadays, our MTV is a lot of reality shows. Jersey Shore, Teen Mom, to name a few. But I think they're also, after 40 years, phasing the music as well from MTV, which is not surprising considering that MTV and VH1 they really don't do music much anymore. Hey, Easy Man. I think they just kind of like phased it out, the whole thing of music. They just phased it out and they no longer do music. I mean, they no longer make music the main focal point of MTV anymore. When I was a little kid in the late 80s, I used to watch a lot of music videos on MTV. That is how I discovered Van Halen. A 5-year-old me had discovered Van Halen on MTV. I think it was like Too Hot for Teacher. I remember watching it and my dad turning off the TV and be like, "You can't watch that, Lisa." It was like about 11 or 10, and I just happened to see like the videos that they wouldn't show. They wouldn't show the videos that they would not show in a day. They would show later on at night, so I had caught a whiff of Van Halen. And that was my first introduction to Van Halen, is through MTV. MTV actually introduced me to a lot of artists. I remember when Bravo had great music on it, but yeah, Bravo is all about like the Real Housewives of Beverly Hill. Bravo has a lots and lots of reality TV shows. Little Woman Atlanta, I think is on there. I mean, I don't remember Bravo when it was a music thing, to be honest with you. I just remember Bravo for the Real Housewives. All of those different series. Salt Lake, Beverly Hills. There's so many. There's so many I can't remember them all. I bought my pencil. Same, Lisa, same here. The main MTV channel show, reality, but we love 5 sub channels: MTV, 80s, 90s, and 3 others. Yeah, we had cable for a bit in 2004 when my parents, decided to get cable again. But we don't have cable because cable is expensive. But we do have TVs. But whether or not these TVs work is a whole nother story. Because we have a lot of TVs in my house, but my dad's TV doesn't work. The TV in the living room doesn't work very well. So what I'm eventually gonna have to do, I'm thinking about it, is getting another TV in the living room so we could have something to watch when people come over. I haven't fixed that TV in God knows how many years. We've had that TV for 10 plus years. It's time to upgrade because a lot has happened in 10 years when it comes to TVs. They have came out with so many new TVs. Like, they got TVs that are like 70 inches, 60 inches. It's crazy. They're keeping MTV channels that shows reality stuff and ditching the music channels. That's what they're basically doing here in the United States, is that they're kind of just, ditching the music videos, and they're just sticking with mostly the reality TV shows because that's what's watched a lot out here in the United States. They really don't go out of their way to play a lot of music anymore. I don't think we even have a dedicated like music channel anymore on cable. Oh, hey, Flash. I mean, if you think about it, like MTV came out in like 1981, 1982. Around that year is when MTV came out in the early 80s. And the beginning of MTV was just all music video. And then by the time like 2000s rolled around and they got rid of Total Request Live, it started, leaning more towards the reality TV shows. I just thought of another one. My True Life is another show that I'm thinking of. And then there's another one, We're in a Secret Relationship, where people are hiding their relationships. And then there was that tattoo one too as well, where people would get tattoos for each other and they won't know what the tattoos are. They could either be good tattoos or they could be bad tattoos. I remember when that show was on MTV. And of course, Teen Mom and Jersey Shore. We got MTV Christmas just started last week. I've been watching. I think mid-November is the start to listen to Christmas music. Like November the 1st, Paul. November the 1st is when they start the whole Christmas music thing. Where it's like, oh, we're defrosting. Mariah Carey every year does like a little video saying, we're defrosting. And there are people that are canceling. They're canceling Sephora for the Mariah Carey video that she did for her defrosting. And I'm like, okay, why? Like, I don't even shop at Sephora. I don't buy makeup, but like, I'm kind of confused to why people are canceling Sephora. People are like, oh, I'm going to go to Ulta and I'm going to buy my makeup. Makeup is expensive in general, no matter where you shop. Makeup can get pretty pricey in general. But it's just kind of weird that they're canceling Sephora for a Mariah Carey commercial. Thank you. I already know that, but thank you for reaffirming it. I don't want to get too religious on here. But everybody that watches my streams know where I stand religious-wise. They know I believe. It was. MTV in the day was all about the music videos, all about music. It was a channel that people could turn on in the 80s and they could just go and watch whatever music video they wanted to watch on there. But now MTV has just really they just really eased themselves out of the whole music thing And now they want to stick to reality TV. Yeah, people are just too sensitive, I swear. People will cancel people for just anything. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a good laugh. I like Mariah Carey. I like Billy Eichner. I think that's his name, Eichner. And I thought it was funny. I mean, you want to go and cancel a makeup store? Go ahead. Some girl's like, oh my God, they're not going to get $100 or $50 from me. I'm not going to be using my card anymore at Sephora. And I'm thinking to myself, that's how much women spend on makeup a month? As they spend like $100 to $50 or even more than $100 for makeup a month. It's crazy. Because for me, I like bought like some makeup. I bought some makeup a while back from Walmart and I spent about 30 to $40 for like some foundation, some powder, and some blush and some lipstick. And I still have it. I still have my makeup bag. But, I'm not really going out of my way to buy a lot of makeup. But I just think, getting all worked up over something and saying you're not going to go to a makeup store because of some video you saw and not even provide the context of why you're not going to sit. The thing is, I like to look at the skincare products. That's what I like to look at when I go to Sephora, I go to Ulta. I love looking at the skincare products. In fact, I now that I think about it, I went to a place recently and I bought a bunch of skincare products. I do like my skincare products, so I do get a lot of that. But then, of course, as everybody knows who watches this stream, I'm a very big user of CeraVe. I bought a lot of CeraVe at Costco. It's great on my face. I like it. It's very lightweight. It's something I recommend to people all the time who want to keep their face nice. Get some CeraVe. It's not too expensive at Costco. When they have the sale, it's even cheaper. It seems crazy to cancel. How I first got wind of this is when I was on TikTok and this girl made a video about why she was canceling Sephora. And I was like, canceling Sephora for what? And she was talking about how Mariah Carey had said something offensive in her video and she was going to cancel Sephora. I was like, okay, go ahead and cancel Sephora if you want. I was like, yeah, that's a little weird, whatever. People brands, they they get canceled, companies, they get canceled, but as I said, I probably stepped in a Sephora a handful of times just to browse and look. We have 2 Sephoras in my city. I've never bought anything from Sephora. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to makeup, like what I'd buy. Because there's just so much. And plus, I really don't wear makeup also because my skin, when I wear makeup, I have breakouts. And my skin gets really bad. So I just avoid it. And I stick to just wearing like lotions on my face or whatever other stuff that my sister Danielle recommends I try to use for my face. So how have you guys all been? I got a little tongue tied there. I've been doing pretty good. I'm surprised with how fast this weekend had gone by. Um Friday I didn't go anywhere. I kind of just stood back. I think did I go anywhere on Friday? I forgot what I did on Friday. Let me try to trace back. Oh no, Friday I went to the bank. Like how did I forget? I went to the bank. Today I went to my cousin's party. because I wanted to, go out and celebrate. And then tomorrow we're going to be hanging out with me, my parents, and my sisters. Radio concerts. You know what? I miss the days of being able to line up for concerts and, getting tickets that way. I miss that. The kids of today don't know what it's like to actually line up for a concert and to get tickets lining up in a concert. I remember the many times that I've lined up for concerts to get tickets. And to be really honest with you, I miss those days, but I also do like that now, we can just get into concerts with scanning our phone. Because I went through three phases of concerts. The whole ticket phase, where you would get tickets for concerts by lining up at some electronic store or just a store that sells tickets. And then we had the printing ticket phase, where people would get tickets sent to their house printed, or they would print tickets on their computer, and the tickets would get them into the place. And, a lot of times I had to make sure I didn't get my ticket wet so that I could go and scan my ticket. In fact, I have a ticket from a show I went to, and I actually scanned it at the show, and it's signed by Belinda the Butcher, which is very interesting. I think it's Belinda the Butcher who signed it. Yeah, there's a band called Belinda the Butcher. I still have it up on my wall. Doing pretty good, Lisa. I know, the holiday season is just coming so fast. As seen in my favorite 1977 Rock and Roll High School, they used to sleep outside the concert venue. Oh, yeah. Camping out. So one thing I want to do in this room, guys, is I want that corner that I have in my room, in my one part of my room, I want to make it like my little library. I've been saying for a while that I want to have a library in my room. I want to, have a place to put my books. I have these shelves right now that are there, but I think I want to replace them with like a tall 4-cube standing shelf that I'm going to put in that corner, and then that's what I'm going to do. So that's the plan. I'm going to go and I'm going to rearrange that area, and that's going to be my little library book area, because I don't really have space here to put another bookshelf. So I'm going to make that my little book corner, because I do collect books. Not as much anymore. Okay. There was a just great, exciting feeling waiting in line for a ticket. Oh my gosh, yes. Like, the first time I waited in line for a concert ticket was probably like, I want to say 98, 99. My friend and me were trying to get tickets for Rage Against the Machine, which is a very popular group out here in the United States. So, we were trying to get tickets for it, and we didn't get tickets. So, we would line for other things as well and try to get tickets. And the thing about it was, you line up in front of like an electronic store, a JCPenney's out here, or some other places. You would line up, you'd wait in line to get a ticket. They would tell you, oh, we got the tickets, they're going on sale at this time. You line up, you would pay in cash or credit card or debit card, and then you get your tickets. Like, you go to the box office, and then you get your tickets. And they would tell you how many tickets they had, and then they would tell you if they sold out. Which back then that seemed legit because you know why? Scalpers could not get tickets. Scalpers would have to line up with everybody else to get a ticket. Nowadays, it's like you got people that are buying tickets online and not going to the concert, and they're selling it for inflatable prices, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that, nowadays when you want to go to a concert, you're spending the premium for a concert ticket. You're spending crazy. You're spending a crazy amount for a concert ticket nowadays due to some resellers. But also, in the same token, when it comes to resellers, you kind of have to do your research. You have to look at all the tickets that are being presented on whatever reselling site you get the tickets from. And you have to find a good deal. Like, I was lucky to get my concert ticket for the concert going to on the 17th. I was lucky to get it for $172. Somebody had listed their ticket for $172, which I thought, to be really honest with you, wasn't that bad of a price. So when I saw that price, I was like, okay, that's actually a really decent price for a concert ticket. So I went and I got it because I knew that there was going to be somebody that was going to have a ticket that was more money. And they had some tickets that were going up to like $6,000, which is crazy. That someone actually thought they had a $6,000 ticket. You know, what's the crazy thing is they're going to be stuck with that ticket. And nobody's going to want to buy it. And they're going to have to either cut their losses, or they're just going to have to go. I've seen like people who have done listings on Ticketmaster or Live Nation or ASX, and they put the tickets for more than it costs because they're hoping to, get an inflated amount of money, and they don't sometimes. But then there are people so desperate to go to a concert that they will spend that money. Not me. Like, if I look at concert tickets for a concert and I see that it's too much or too rich for my blood, I'm going. I'm not spending XX amount of money just to be in a room for somebody. If I can't find affordable seats, sayonara, I'm not going. I'm not going to be spending a crazy amount just for a band. If I see affordable seats, then yes, I'll go. And I don't care where I am in the audience, to be really honest with you. Nowadays, I'm at a point where I'm in the room. I made it. I'm going to be here to see them. I am not too concerned with where my seats are. Yeah. Sometimes, by the end, yeah. Oh, the customer, yeah, I remember the customer service outlet at a mall. You remember doing that for concerts a decade ago? I think we were talking about it on Dusty's stream. We were talking about how we used to get tickets, and I thought I would, overlap it to here and talk about how, how it was just so much fun lining up. And you got to meet people too. It was fun. It was fun times. I miss the, way more simpler times where we weren't so, heavy focused on social media. Hey, Mike. Doing good. Doing good. I'm going to change out these clothing later and get some pajamas on because this dress is too nice. These days, cell phones are prolific. If you don't go to a particular concert, it's likely to be filmed. My cell phone does a pretty good job. My cell phone does a pretty good job of filming things. I like my cell phone. I don't have like the top of the line cell phone that Samsung does, but my S23, which I've had for, I want to say a couple years now, it has done the job. It's great. I love it. It does a decent enough job of filming videos. I used it and I filmed a video at the Hollywood Bowl when I went to see the Disney concert thing, and I went to see who else did I film? Did I film at Backstreet Boys? Did I have my phone in 2022 or I don't? I just know that I had my phone for at least a couple of years. Thank you, James. Um, yeah, I'm gonna, film a little something at the concert that I go to. I'm gonna film it. I definitely like to film a little bit at the concert. Like, I don't hold my phone up all day at a concert. I like to film like my favorites, and I like to do little short clips. I'm not a person anymore. I mean, let's be honest. I'm not a person that really, likes to film the whole songs anymore. I'm a person that, I'll film like 30 seconds to maybe 15 minutes of the song or 40 seconds and I'm good. Because I like to just, be able to watch it back and see things. But, but yeah, I have so much like concert footage from like concerts I went to in the past. And I kind of wish I would have had the pictures for when I went to this one concert in 2010. I kind of wish I would have kept that. But now that we have cell phones, it's like cell phones, we can record things, we can take pictures of things, and we have things essentially for our phones that we can keep and transfer to other computers. Cell phones took over the place of having a camera. I've been to a concert where recording was prohibited. There's a lot of concerts that do that actually. I think it's kind of nice to just be there in the moment and not, constantly have your cell phone holding your cell phone at a concert and constantly recording. And I think it's nice when you could just be there in a moment and you just see the band and you're not, taking out your phone every second. So I think that's nice in a way, just to be in the moment. There are, many times I've gone to concerts, I don't film everything and I just like to be there in a moment and just, be like, wow, I was there in the moment. Missed out on missed out on seeing Metallica in Perth last week, but luckily I was able to get tickets for ACDC, Amon and the Sniffers. I saw Amon and the Sniffers. That's cool. That's cool. Metallica would be really cool to see live. Metallica did 2 dates out here at one of our biggest stadiums, which is 80,000 people showed up to that Metallica show. Pretty crazy, pretty wild. It would have been cool to see Metallica, but I know to see Metallica, it probably would have cost me a pretty penny for the nosebleeds to go see Metallica. But Metallica, I've seen the videos. Metallica puts on a hell of a show. So to go see Metallica would be awesome. It'd be balls to the walls. That's kind of funny to say that. To see Metallica, that'd be like so freaking awesome. I talked to a symphony orchestra conductor about a recording of a clip of a concert, and they said they couldn't do anything about it despite it being prohibited for recording. I see. Saw Metallica last year and they were great. Awesome. One of my fellow Aussie neurodivergent friends is seeing Metallica in Brisbane next Wednesday. Awesome. Next year, there are a few concerts that pique my interest in 2026. I do want to catch a couple of concerts in 2026. On that same day, my cousin from my dad's side family is seeing the first concert of ACDC tour in Melbourne. Cool. I like ACDC. I like Back in Black. I like that album Back in Black. I like Highway to Hell, Thunderstruck. I like some ACDC. Like the biggest fan of ACDC, but I do every once in a while find myself watching ACDC videos on YouTube. I find myself watching a lot of that Thunderstruck video, the one in 1991, where they, have all these people. I think it's like somewhere in South America, and it's pretty cool. I do find myself watching that performance a lot. Shook Me All Night Long is also another song. My sister knows that song. I think that's a song that a lot of people know, but I haven't listened to ACDC in a hot minute. I I regret the one time I saw someone had an AC/DC album. They got it for $2, and I wish I would have. I need to get an AC/DC album, especially the Black album. Rush. Rush is actually doing about 4 dates out here at the Kia Forum. It's the 50th tour. I think Rush would be really cool to see live. I've never seen Rush live. I have like a couple of albums from Rush. I have Fly By Night, and I have what else do I have by Rush? I have Moving Pictures. It is 8 o'clock, guys. So we're gonna run this stream for another 15 minutes, and then I'm gonna get off. It is starting to get a little warm here, and I've been on this floor for a bit. Probably not good for my back. Saw Rush twice live, one of many great Canadian bands. I agree. Another good ACD song, Dirt. Oh, yeah. How can I forget Dirty Deeds Done Cheap? I don't have that album, but how can I forget that song? I ordered a 1995 Japanese reissue of Back in Black on eBay recently, and also the Japanese pressing of Black Ice on Discogs. My birthday is this month, and my parents gave me some birthday money. I am actually going to get some music probably this month, and I'm also going to get that Bagoo bag that I've been eyeing for a while. The crossbody gingham cargo bag. Because my parents were like, what do you want for your birthday? I was like, there's this one bag from Bagoo that I've been wanting for a while, and I want to get the golden 7-inch record. I want to get that. That's going to go with my 7-inch. And I'm also thinking of getting the 5 Seconds of Summer, Everyone's a Star CD. The vinyl is too rich for my blood. So the CD seems more affordable. You Shook Me All Night Long is, I think, their popular song. Your eldest sibling is a fan of AC/DC. I also like, yes. Silverchair, fucking fantastic. Wolfmother, I love Wolfmother. I saw Wolfmother live back in 2016. Wolfmother had played this festival that we had called FYE Fest, and they came on earlier in the day. I like Wolfmother. Wolfmother is great. Of course, in terms of other Australian bands, I love King Gizzard, the Lizard Wizard, AC/DC, and then Australian artists is Kylie Minogue, Tame Impala, Pawn. Who else do I like that is Australian? In Excess, of course, AC/DC, Silverchair, Wolfmother. You get the point. I like a lot of Australian artists. So, like, what's your favorite Australian artist, guys? We seem to have gotten on the subject of Australian artists. What's your favorite from Australia? It is awesome to have siblings or parents who influence your music taste. My siblings didn't really shape my music taste, to be really honest with you. I have a brother who's like 11 years older than me. We never really listened to much music there. Me and my dad. My dad's really what influenced my music taste. My little siblings, however, did introduce me to stuff that they liked. And so I kind of, was like, oh, that's cool. Danielle introduced me to that, or Angela introduced me to that. And it was really cool. David never really introduced me to much music. It was more Angela and Danielle. My older brother, not so much. But the most of the music that I got into, I would definitely say my dad was a very huge influence in me getting into like the older genres of music, especially like the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. The 80s, I kind of got into some of it with him, but I think with the 80s, I kind of figured it out myself and I kind of explored the 80s genre myself. And that's when I discovered bands like Simple Minds, Naked Eyes, Depeche Mode, New Order, Tears for Fear, Talk Talk, Duran Duran, the ABCs, the Style Council, the Jam, just to name a few of the artists that came out of the 80s. And of course, you also have the solo artists too. The solo artists, Phil Collins, Paul Young, uh, Simply Red. There's so much. There's so much. I lose track of how much music in the 80s we had. Then my lover, oh, then my love of hard rock and metal. So, oh, metal too. 80s metal. Yeah. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden. I love me some 80s metal. Dokken. Over the years, I've discovered my dad's Ted Nugent. I'm not a big Ted Nugent person. Ted Nugent's controversial. Rainbow albums in my grandparents from his adopted family vinyl collection. Cool. My eldest sibling is a senior citizen. Basic music taste and record collection. Cool. The Scorpions, yes, the Scorpions. How could I forget the Scorpions? There's like so many groups that came out in the 80s. Like I literally I'm trying to remember a lot of the artists that I like in the 80s. Oh yeah, Journey, there's so much. There's so much. REO Speedwagon, Foreigner from the 80s and the 70s, Elton John, Led Zeppelin, Creedence Clearwater Revival, the Rolling Stones, the Beatles, the Hollies, Hermits, Peter and Gordon. Also the R&B music of the 70s and the 60s. Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, the Commodores, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, Aretha Franklin, Etta James, Stevie Wonder. Let me think. Who else I think I like from the 70s? Oh, also don't forget the Temptations, the Foundations, the Jackson 5, Sly and the Family Stone, uh, Marvin Gaye, Tammy Terrell, Tina Turner. There's so much. There's so much music. Like it's possibly hard for me to name every artist. But there's just like so much good music. There's so much good music. You like oldies music? So do I. Oh, then the 50s. When you think of the 50s, you think of the Marcells, the Del Vikings, 16 not 16 candles, Del Vikings, the Marcells, Gene Vincent, Buddy Holly, Chuck Berry, Little Richard, Carl Perkins, Big Bopper, the Flamingos. There's just so much. Anthony and the Imperials, Teardrops on My Pillow. I haven't listened to that one in forever. Frankie Lyman and the Teenagers. There's so much. There's so much. We could spend hours and hours of me trying to remember all the artists from different decades. Of course, the 90s too. We might as well talk the 90s a little bit before I end the stream. Soul Collective, Soul Asylum, Ted the Wet Sprocket, the Wallflowers, Spin Doctors, Third Eye Blind, Linkin Park, I think. I think Linkin Park came out in the 90s. Hanson, Spice Girls. What else in the 90s that I really like? Alanis Morissette. I love Alanis Morissette. Sarah McLachlan. There's so much. There's so much that. Oh, can't forget Nirvana. I feel like Nirvana is so great. I can't forget them. Foo Fighters, REM, Smashing Pumpkins. There's so much. We could go on in the 2000s. The 2000s is just so much. We'd be here forever. Oh, Seal. Did you say Seal? I love Seal. Seal's like first album was really good. Oh yeah, Hank Williams Sr., Elvis. How can I forget Elvis? All the Sun Records stuff. They like did a Sun Records compilation. I want to say they did a Sun Records compilation for maybe the 2017, 2018, or 2016 RSD. They did this like Sun Records compilation, which was pretty cool. I know that the Sun Records is sought out for when people buy records. I have like Chuck Berry and Carl Perkins on Sun not Chuck Berry. I have Carl Perkins and I have Jerry Lee Lewis on Sun Records. I have another Jerry Lewis somewhere that unfortunately got broken, and then Chuck Berry was on Chess. I'm trying to remember what he was on. He was on Chess, I believe. Chuck Berry. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I'm not like 100% correct with my labels, but I'm pretty sure Chuck Berry was on Chess Records. I like to also see the Foo Fighters live next year. I've never seen the Foo Fighters live. Never. But I would love to see Dave Grohl and company. I like Erasure. How the fuck did I forget Erasure? I have so much Erasure on vinyl. I fucking love Erasure. Whoa, doom, 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 doom. Ooh, sometimes. I love Erasure. Chain of Love. Like, there's so many bands in the 80s, but I like have so much Erasure on vinyl. There's a period of time where I was buying a lot of Erasure. I have the like main stuff. I have Innocence. I have Wonderland. I have Circus. And then I have some like 12-inch singles, which is pretty cool. I like Leonard Cohen. Saw him live. I do too. My parents saw Leonard Cohen on various Positions tour in Perth, long before Hallelujah became a standard. Also saw Gordon Lightfoot is someone I wish I would have seen live. I'm bummed that I did not ever see Gordon Lightfoot live. I love Gordon Lightfoot. I have so much Gordon Lightfoot vinyl. Gordon Lightfoot is like one of those artists that I just bought a lot of his stuff for really cheap at record stores, thrift stores. Love Gordon Lightfoot. One of my absolute favorites when it comes to folk music. As you know, I really like the folk genre. Gordon Lightfoot, Joan Baez, Bob Dylan, Pete Seeger, Simon and Garfunkel, Judy Collins, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, Arlo Guthrie. I love the folk genre. I think the folk genre is a very not talked about genre here in the vinyl community. People do acknowledge it. I just think that it's not talked about a lot. Of course, I also like the, modern folk artists as well. There's this one guy that I discovered within the last year called Jesse Wellies, I think his name is Jess Wellies. He is like a modern day Bob Dylan. The stuff he writes about is fantastic. Love his music. Modern day Bob Dylan. If you haven't, you can find him on TikTok. You can find him on YouTube under Jess Wallies. I think that's his name, Jess Wallies, and fantastic. He wrote a song about healthcare. I was like, wow, very cool lyrics. People always compare him to Bob Dylan. He played at the recent they had like a recent Newport Festival concert, and he played there, which is pretty cool. The Newport Folk Festival concert. The Platters, uh, they did 16 Candles. Oh, yeah, I love the Platters. I'm thinking, who's that other band that my daddy... Oh, A Casual Look. I was thinking of A Casual Look. My dad introduced me to that song, and I forgot who sings A Casual Look. Also, the Shirelles. Now I think about it, the Shirelles, the Marvelettes, the Supremes. We had some really good girl groups in the 60s. Oh my God, how can I forget Billy Joel or Wham? You see? My brain is like running at a million miles away that I forgot Billy Joel, one of my absolute favorites from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and on. Yeah. Wham! Wham I like, but that Christmas song, God forbid that Christmas song is always played. I kind of like to say that I'm not really into the Christmas song that much, and Wake Me Up Before You Go Go. It's like so corny and cheesy. My sister had that as my ringtone for a very long time, that Wham song. I was like, why that? Because I'm not like a big Wham fan. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go. I've overstayed by 2 minutes. Thank you, Mike, Dwayne, Fox Guy, James, Paul, AZ Mac, Dylan, I think, was in here for a bit, and anybody else that showed up. Thank you. Thank you for showing up for the stream. I probably will do a stream next week on the weekend again. I'm gonna try to limit my streams now to the weekend. So, shall we meet again next Saturday? Next Saturday at 7. Sounds good for you guys. I think that's would be a good time. But talk to you later, guys. Have a good day. It is still kind of muggy and hot here, even though we are almost towards December. But thanks, guys. Thanks. Oh, William, too. You see, there's so many people that come through my stream. Thank you, William, for being here as well. I like to, say thank you to all you people that show up. I like to individually thank you. The trolls, they get no thanks from me. Anyways, Fox Guy, it is pretty hot here, but thank you for giving me the laugh. We didn't do a rant today, Fox Guy. I didn't have anything to rant about today. Today actually turned out to be a good day, but maybe next week I might have a rant. Yeah, because I know you guys love the rants. Bye. I want that nice and cool. Maybe next month.